Party! Yeah! It's party time because tomorrow is my birthday. Yes, I am turning 21 tomorrow, guys. How are you? Welcome to 5 Minutes or Less. I am your about to be 21-year-old host, Brian Doney. Hope you guys are doing good. It's exciting. It's really exciting. This Saturday, I'll be having my birthday roast called the Fryin of Brian, which will be happening at Shrunken Head at 8 o'clock. Check it out because it's going to be a fun show. I can't think of any other way to make it more fun because there's going to be some of my favorite stand-up comedians are going to be there to perform, and then we'll be doing the roast. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be so much fun, and then we're closing it out with karaoke until closing. So check it out. Come have a drink. Watch me have a drink. It'll be the first time I've ever tasted alcohol. I have no idea what it tastes like. I have no idea what's going to happen. It's exciting. It's nerve-wracking. It's going to be fun. It's going to be scary. Oh, it's going to be all sorts of things. So come on out and partake with me as I start this. Hopefully not alcoholism, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't know. But honestly, I'm really excited and appreciate everyone who's on the roast already. And if you're coming out, thank you so much. It's going to be, the more people there, the more fun it's going to be. We're closing out with karaoke at the roast, and who's in charge of that? Adrian X. And the reason why I bring that up is because Adrian X let me do another blind karaoke session. It was so much fun, even during like the 4th year anniversary of him running that show. It was fantastic. Karaoke night is every Tuesday at Shrunken Head. You can follow. I go there every week. I'll be there tomorrow night. You can follow Adrian at whoisadrianx, and you can follow his karaoke stuff at It's Karaoke Night. So be sure to do that. He's been very supportive of the show, my blind karaoke singing career. We also tomorrow night is comedy at the Mezz, the last comedy at the Mezz for the semester. I will be starting it back up again in the fall, but it's going to be closed for the summer like it was last year. God, I've been doing the show for 2 years now. It's crazy. Not that I'm complaining. It's been great. I've grown a lot because of it. Just can't believe how much time has flown by. And any comedians who have been interested in going, this is your last chance for a whole 4 months. So please make it out if you can. I believe that's it. Let's get into Ricky Mulvey. He's a very funny stand-up comedian from Columbus. He has been doing comedy for a little less than a year, but he's very smart guy, and he's a young guy too. He's like my age. He's 19, I believe, but that's kind of young. I believe for the average. I don't know. We've been getting more in Columbus. There's been more and more younger comedians, which is good because I was tired of being the only one who was, I don't know, looking like he was 12. I mean, I don't know. Now I look like I'm 15 these days, but I think that's been good. But usually the average age was 26 or something like that. So it's nice to see someone my age walking around, and he's very good too. He does shows with the Buckeye Stand-Up Comedy Club. I believe he's going to be running it next year, which will be exciting. It was great having him on the show. By the way, I hope you guys enjoyed the bonus episode last week and the Mitch Hedberg episode that I did yesterday to commemorate the anniversary of him being the 10-year anniversary of his death. It was very meaningful, and I feel like with Bianca and Becky, we had a really good conversation and really got to put our feelings out and really connect over this guy who neither of us knew personally, but had a big impact on us. And hopefully, if you guys know Mitch Hedberg, you enjoyed it. If you don't know who he is, go ahead, listen. I think that's a great way to get introduced to him and to really know what he was about and to start getting into his stuff more. You can listen to the Mitch Hedberg episode on all the normal streams, my website, iTunes. YouTube, and now Stitcher. We have Stitcher. We are on Stitcher, guys. Yes, Stitcher.com has now taken 5 minutes or less as a partner. All of our episodes are now available on Stitcher.com, which is great. We used to have SoundCloud. That didn't quite work out, but now we have Stitcher, and it's fantastic. You can listen to all the episodes on there, including the Mitch Hedberg podcast that I recorded, which is not a 5 minutes or less episode, but I did release through it. And so it is on there as well as YouTube, my website, and iTunes. So if you don't have Stitcher, get one. Get the app. Try it out. It's a great app. You'll love it. If your friend has one, tell them to look up 5 minutes or less so they can become a 5 Minute High Club member. And so that way, let's get some more members, guys. So that way we can actually feel like a club, you know? But I guess that's it. Let's get started with Ricky Mulvey by singing this song at Shrunken Head Karaoke Tuesday, which is brought to us with Adrian X. This song is Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. Here we go. So this song today that I'm going to be doing for you live is Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. So let's see how it goes. She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. I said, don't mind, but what do you mean? I am the one who will dance on the floor in the round. She said, I am the one who will dance on the floor in the round. She told me her name was Billie Jean, and she caused then every head turned with eyes that dreamed of being the one who will dance on the floor in the round. People always tell me, be careful what you do. I don't go around breaking these girls, yeah. And mother always told me, be careful who you love and be careful what you do, cause the lie becomes the truth. Hey, hey, Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. Ooh, she says I am the one, but the kid is not my son. No, no. Welcome everyone to another episode of the podcast, 5 Minutes or Less. I am your host, Brian Doney. I'm here, guys. It's raining. It's wet out right now, and it just snowed here in Columbus. Should I expect a pizza man to come, deliver me a pizza in 5 minutes or less under these conditions, to risk their life, to push themselves that hard? I mean, even in the summer, it's very dangerous, and it's not easy to do. Only trained professionals can do it. But should I expect it of them now? Of course! This is a war, guys. This is a war that I'm fighting. And it doesn't matter if it's sunny, or if it's a little cloudy, or if there's a rainbow, or two rainbows. I don't give a shit. We got to keep pressing forward. I mean, Jimmy Johns doesn't care what the weather is, and I know this because of my guest today, Ricky Mulvey, who used to work for Jimmy Johns, right?
Yeah, you can say the rest of my credits.
Okay. Ricky Mulvey has performed in a Donato's basement at least once.
Yes.
Oh, you also featured on Aaron Ramirez's podcast, if I'm not mistaken.
They should already know that, but that's fair. Okay.
No, I'm just giving them a little backstory in case they haven't heard of you. You know?
Fine. Yes.
I mean, do you ever bump into someone who doesn't know who you are? I mean, I know you're a popular guy, but...
Yeah. Oh, wow, I'm sounding douchey right now. I thought that was going to be quicker than it was. I'm sorry.
Just be yourself. It's okay. Just relax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just so you're good. So you used to work for Jimmy John's.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then in the north.
In the north.
Yeah.
Short north, you mean?
Medium, short. Yeah, short. North.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a Jimmy John's up there, and used to do a lot of slicing and dicing and
Slicing and dicing. Huh?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. How long? let's see. How did you learn how to slice or dice first?
They kind of go hand in hand.
Really?
Yeah. Both.
Ricky?
Yeah.
Did you ever really work at Jimmy John's?
Yeah. Used to. I don't still work there.
Ricky, I know you've listened to 2 episodes of my podcast, so I know you're kind of a fan of the show. Probably part of the 5 Minute High Club. But,
Yeah.
did you, because everyone knows you learn how to dice before you slice.
Oh.
Did you lie about your
No, I used to work there. I
resume?
used to work there. Yeah, I've references.
Your references?
Yeah.
Who are your references?
When I worked there?
Yeah. What was your manager's name?
It was a while ago. I mean, the manager.
The manager?
Yeah.
What was the manager's name? I know all... Look, I've done so much research on
was
Jimmy John's. I know
Jones
all
and-
the employees.
Jones.
Jones?
Mhm. Jones.
Jones works at the one in Gahanna.
Smith. Jones Smith.
Ricky, the short north
That's
manager.
why we called him Big Jimmy Smith. Jonesy. Papa Jones.
Ricky, the manager in the short north was Todd... Ah, damn it, what was his last name? Todd... Ah, damn it. Todd... Shit, now
How
I
long
don't know.
is this the manager now? Because
Yeah,
I used to work there.
How long ago did you work?
How long's a fortnight?
2 weeks. Right?
Like
Is
maybe
it 2 weeks?
maybe
should
like 6 to
Google
8
that.
months.
6 to 8 months?
Yeah, like that long ago. Because I was more than a few fortnights, but less than
So like a dozen fortnights.
something like that. Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot of fortnights. No, I mean he still works there. Todd. God,
Are you sure you know?
I thought
Did you ever work there?
I never worked there.
I worked there.
I just did a lot of research.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I didn't
worked
really
there.
do the research. I had my intern Rick Creamery do the research, and I had him like read it all to me, but I wasn't really listening. I was too busy on my headphones doing something else. But no, I never. So okay, but you say you learned how to slice and dice at the same time. You dice before you slice. You know that, right?
Coming from a guy that's doing a podcast in his car, I don't think you know a lot about knife work.
You know, just because I do a podcast in my car doesn't mean I don't know my way around knives, all right? Like, I used to work at Cutco for like 2 weeks, all right? I know my knives.
So you know how to exploit your friends.
Yes.
Maybe not about knives, but
No.
the former.
Well, I learned about exploiting from Cutco, even though I couldn't do it. That's why I only worked there for a fortnight. Yep, that's 2 weeks, right? Someone check me on that. Actually, I'll write that down somewhere. Okay. Anyway, so I learned the exploiting from that, and then I applied it to this podcast.
I'd
That's
like
how
to
I get
point
my
out
guests.
something real quick, is that he didn't actually write anything down. And so the guy that you're taking factual information from, I just saw lying to you. You're just listening right now, but I have a visual, and he didn't actually write anything down. How are you going to take anything that he's saying at face value, or his word?
It was a mental note. Like, haven't you ever taken a mental note?
I don't pretend to write things out and then look at the
That's how I write it in
phone
my head.
deceivingly. Like a goddamn liar.
I'm not a liar, listeners. Ricky's the real liar here. He's never worked at Jimmy John's. Is your name even Ricky?
It's
I feel-
Richard, but that's
Yes.
beside the point.
You've been misleading the whole Columbus comedy community this entire time by calling yourselves Ricky. It's Richard, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah, but then
It's Richard!
But then I sound like sort of like a rich kid, like hockey player that like you don't want your daughter to get involved with. I feel like that Richard belongs to a name of a kid like that.
Maybe you
And
are
Ricky
a kid
is
like
Ricky
that.
is friendly.
Oh,
Ricky tells the truth.
see, that's why you adopted the name Ricky.
Ricky's never
Because-
killed anyone that worked at Jimmy John's either. And I think there's only one of us in the car that can say that.
I don't know if I've killed anyone working at Jimmy John's. I've been tempted to.
While working at Jimmy John's with me?
No, not while working at Jimmy John's. Just like while I've been doing this podcast.
How long ago did you work there?
I never worked there. I'm
You sure about that?
pretty sure.
All right.
No, I mean, I diced before I learned how to slice.
I feel like this podcast has had its ups and downs during this episode. I'm pretty.
I like.
This may not
I can't tell who's telling the truth here anymore. Like, I can't tell who. I don't know what's the truth. Do you know? Like, I don't know.
Is there a way I can like get a part ownership in this podcast without any like doing anything?
I'd have to give you a title. What kind of title would you want?
I don't know. Just more like rights.
Rights?
Yeah.
Why would you want rights?
Like you would work for me. Like I used to work at Jimmy John's, so I kind of know the system.
That would be helpful.
And then you would work for me.
Maybe you could be my Well, so you want to see Jimmy John's be destroyed?
I'm pretty ambivalent.
Why would you wish the destruction on them? I mean, I obviously you do because you're on this podcast, but what's your reason? Did they mistreat you?
Oh, not at all. I just wanted to be on the podcast.
I knew it! I fucking knew it! God damn it! This was such a waste of That's 5 minutes these listeners will never get back, Ricky.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's 4 minutes and 30 seconds, so we have to go. God damn it. All right. You're never... Folks, I don't think I'm ever going to have Ricky on this podcast ever again. Not because he isn't a funny comedian. Not because he isn't a nice guy. Because he fucking lied about working at Jimmy Goddamn John's. Debbie Jimmy Goddamn John's. Jimmy John's.
And you're no steps closer to bringing them down.
Not thanks to you. I'm sorry this podcast wasted your time. I mean, I'm sure it's the only time it's ever wasted your time. And I apologize for that. Next time when I bring Ricky on, he'll be a legitimate source. He won't lie. You don't have to lie to be on my podcast, Ricky. I hope you know that. You could have just asked.
But it helped to get on here.
Yeah, I mean, I only delayed you being my guest for like 3 months because of that lie. Yeah. So I guess you're right. You only had to wait another 3 months. Well, I'm sorry it's such an exclusive podcast. But I can't wait to have you on next time. Thank you guys for listening. Sorry he's such a fucking liar. See you next week.